sound.
Welcome along to the Marc Peard
about now?
Podcast. Can you hear us now? Yes, you can hear us. Thank you so
sound?
much for coming in and watching. If you're on Facebook Live, you will see us. You will see all the appreciation shuttles that have been run.
No audio.
No, there is audio.
What? Read the comments.
Read the comments.
There's definitely audio. There's definitely audio.
Thumbs down for the intro.
Well, we don't need the thumbs up. We do not need the thumbs up. You can hear us now. You can hear us now.
No sound, yes. Yes,
What?
no sound.
No, wait.
There is sound.
Oh, yes, there is? Oh, there is. Okay.
Yes, there is sound. You guys
Swear.
through.
Do lots of swearing.
No, don't swear. Don't
Okay,
swear. Don't swear.
right.
We're on. All right. So, if anyone is putting through the appreciation shuttles, it's all on Nate this
Well,
evening.
not running now. It's not being run professionally.
You're also Ross Henry. Thank you. We appreciate it. Basically, we build a podcast from you guys who are watching, the community, the whānau. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part. If you're watching live on Twitch, if you're watching live on YouTube, if you're watching live on Facebook, get in on the action. We have sound. It's happening. It's all go. Tonight on the show, we are speaking with a world champion eater. Robbie, we appreciate you, good sir. Thank you for sharing the stream. Nato will be doing the appreciation shuttle. A world champion eater. There's the first burp that's just come out from Nate. You guys missed the fact that he just run a whole lot of eating a whole burgers.
I ate a triple patty burger. Those patties
World
that I gave you the other week.
Joey Chestnut.
Yes.
He would eat more than just the patty and a burger. He would go all day. Caleb Clark's dad, that's what he's known as now. Ronnie Clark talks to us about the All Blacks. And, of course, it wouldn't be us without a 90s Goldberg streak. And Gus Gould joins the show as well. But let's not just keep looking at me with no sound. Let's get straight into it. Aish.
Back passes at the line. Oh, intercepted by Ashford. Ashford's over halfway. It's Carney chasing. Ashford and Carney. Carney and Ashford. Ashford. He makes it to the line.
Aish, give us some wisdom. Give us some wisdom while we're looking at Craig giving us some love.
Some wisdom.
Right. Give us some wisdom that got us through, or got you through your 400 years worth of what would you call it? A career in the NRL.
A career? Would you call it a career?
Well, we
Yes.
call it a career.
That's correct.
Yes, we would,
Okay.
of course.
Well, this is my favourite time of the year, NRL Grand Final time, of course.
Beautiful, yes.
I've been to many. I have been to many Grand Finals.
Yes.
And watched them on the sideline. Obviously never played in one. And that brings me to it because it's more a message for everyone that isn't playing and won't be there. And a lot of people can take this in their life. Life is easier when you lower your expectations. So don't go out there expecting to win. All you people out there, don't expect to be there. Just in life, just lower your expectations like I did, and we'll be fine.
Beautiful.
We'll all be fine.
Aim for the stars. But not
Got
those.
a nice stuff. Be prepared.
prepared.
We're a woggle.
Yeah, Nato. Tell us what happened in this day in history.
So this day in 1992. Now you, Peard, you used to work at ZM, and you used to play the Black Eyed Peas, and I believe there was a song called "My Humps."
Yes.
My humps,
I remember
my
it
humps,
well.
my
Lovely
humps.
lady.
Now,
Wait
wasn't
a
it-
minute. Can I just hear, Blake? I feel like you've just turned that into a musical spectacular.
Yeah, it's pretty
Go
good.
again.
My humps, my lovely lady.
Humps. Is there a part there where he says, "What you got there? What you get there inside them pants"?
Yes.
Okay, because on this day in 1992, I believe I know where that came from. A woman was detained for unusually large buttocks going through airport security in an airport in Colombia because she had surgically inserted 1.5 pounds of implanted heroin inside where her buttocks were. My bumps, my bumps, my bumps, my bumps. About 1.5 pounds of bumps. Check it out. That's what she had in her bum. So that's what it was. So I don't know.
Would they have
Well, yeah.
would they have X-ray? Thank you, Sean. Thank you to the other two too. That Blake is taking note of all the appreciation shuttles for Nato.
The sniffer dog, straight up there. What's
No, but like, that was actually inserted inside his skin.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the thing.
That's what I
Like,
mean. Do they X-ray that to find that, or because that's an odd? That's
yeah,
an
how do you
odd
go,
find.
wait, hang on, you got an odd. Maybe there's a guy there who's a bit of, the perv. Yeah, you want to go through? Hang on. Like that, it's like, hang on, they look like squares.
Why haven't they laid off Gary? Well, you know Gary. Gary's the perv. Gary.
And
Gary.
because of that, Gary the Perv got to stay for ages at Columbia Airport. You go, Gary the Perv.
old
Go,
Gazza.
Gary the perv.
Gary the perv.
All right, let's get straight into it. Fight card.
Oh yeah.
It was was unusual last week because the fight card that we had either got a vote for one thing or people saying that just blew my mind. So last week I was saying, there was a farmer had a dog and Bingo was his name, Bingo, right? Is Bingo the farmer or is he the dog? So a lot of people were like, it's the dog, idiot. And someone went farmer. And then a lot of other people were like, oh my God, my mind's blown. But it actually stayed on the dog as the winning vote as everyone else just sat there contemplating. And I don't even know if people have perhaps reasoned that in their own minds.
I was a little embarrassed, to be fair. I went home and I was like, man, I've got to think that through. And do you know what came to my head? I was like, old MacDonald had a farm.
And Bingo was his name.
Bingo was his name. And I was like, Nate's got that completely wrong. Like, old MacDonald is the man. Yeah. Bingo.
You can't have wested it in your mind. You mashed it up.
I mashed it up, so I was of no use. But interesting. So this week, I see we have a suggestion from the farmer.
Yeah, it was quite a good one, actually.
Sure done.
Sonic the Hedgehog or Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah. Okay, let's go with that one. I was going to have a different one, but I'll write that down. 90s throwback, Sonic the Hedgehog or the Super Mario Brothers.
See, now I wasn't a Nintendo man. None of my friends had Nintendos either. It was all Sega or Sega.
Right, so you were Sonic.
So I was definitely a Sonic man. Were you a Nintendo?
I was Nintendo.
She was Nintendo,
To the
really?
death. I'd still go out and buy one now. I love Super Mario.
Did it kind of peaked at the Nintendo 64 though, didn't it?
It did. And also got it on a Game Boy as well. Many things.
Yeah.
I did love Super Mario though.
Yeah.
Never got into
Let's go.
Super Sonic.
I mean, the bit with the let's go like that. And every now and then, though, I was one of those guys who used to play with Luigi. I just felt sorry for Luigi. I was like, oh man, no one plays with Luigi.
Oh, Luigi.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw through some comments there.
Yeah,
You can
pick on
vote now. Would you like
Sonic
or
all the
would
way.
you like, who's it, Super Mario? We've got how do you think Israel will go playing basketball?
Oh, now this is the charity basketball event where the Breakers are going up against well-known fellows and fellettes, I'd imagine. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck was the number one pick.
Yes, number one pick.
Did you have a little giggle when you saw him on the news being the number one pick and having a couple of shots?
He can play basketball, but when he got the pressure put on him and the camera was on, he missed both. Real bad too.
Did anyone get the call up and hasn't told us, any of us, that you're playing?
not yet.
Nah.
Did you actually?
Nah.
Oh.
Yeah, nah.
Like, I like to imagine that the ball's going to be going somewhere, but Israel, with his super fighting reflexes, is just going to go poof and punch the ball up into the stands or like do a shin kick on it or something.
Throw some bows on him,
Mate,
man.
he's
How
mastered.
legendary would he be?
He's mastered everything. He's going to
Would do
master
it.
it again. You watch him NBA next.
I mean, he's going to be sizing up Thomas Abercrombie's crayfish legs and go, kick the shins out of those. Bang! And like calf kick, get it, lay up. That's the way it works in there. His elbows. Imagine his elbows in the post.
You don't want nothing to do with those noise.
Absolutely.
Rosie says Super Mario. Robbie says Sonic.
Staff.
With Tails as his partner. Staffy's in there. Super
Good on
Mario
you.
as well. James Taitamu, my man. Super
Go
Mario.
and buy Mark Stafford's paintings. Pay lots of money for them. They're awesome. They're amazing.
They look really good. It's funny too, just for everyone who's commenting in, we do obviously say your names out, and there have been a few people who listen out on the trains over in London who get their Kiwi updates from our podcast, and it's quite funny.
Hello there.
You guys are actually becoming famous over there. James Taitamu, you were one that someone mentioned to us in emails, like, man, I got to meet this James Taitamu. I'm on the same level as this guy. Every time he comments in, I was thinking the same thing.
Nice.
James says, based on games, Super Mario games, Smoke Sonic games.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
I love it, mate.
I always thought Sonic was so fast. So, like, the graphics were so much faster than what we were using. And that was the Atari, the original Atari.
And you look at it now, Super Sonic's into a movie.
Yeah, he is, isn't it? Yeah,
And Super Mario, I do remember, made a movie, but it was with actual people, and it was not very good.
No, it had one of the guys, Roger Rabbit on it or something.
Yeah,
It's like, no,
it's
don't do
awful.
That's never going to work. All right, let's get into the
pick it up.
Peard lines. If
Okay.
you are not familiar with the Peard lines, basically it's the news sporting headline that's I've read with my eyes. It's gone through my brain, right through the filter, and then I'll say it out
that.
loud.
Guess what it is.
And you guys have to guess what it is. Here we go. Peard line number one this week. Black is back. I want Aish to answer this. I want him to say it out loud.
I'm not saying shit.
Because he was chirping away. How happy was he? This is my favourite time of the year. Aish, what am I talking about? Black is back.
You know, 'cause everyone knows what you're talking about, mate.
That's
It's
right.
not.
That's
Don't
right.
rub it into your fellow.
Right here. Right here at Eden Park. And thank you to Eden
I gave
Park.
such an inspirational speech last week.
did?
You did?
I even had the glasses on.
You did.
We're going to break history. Like we're here. We're going to do it.
We'd spoken to referees that made us believe in defensive systems, that Rennie was over there, and then there was just a few changes, And one that we should do is we should claim that one. We were calling for Caleb Clark to start. We made calls early. I'll report that.
What did you see, Nato? What was different? I mean, you're our rugby head. What did you see that was different from, say, Sunday last to this Sunday that's just been with the All Blacks play and what they did?
Two things. One was the little pod that operates out the front that always used to have Brodie Retallick in it, which has been missing with Brodie Retallick. That was almost used as a bit of a decoy because they went behind it a lot to Richie Morgan to just go and way more direct. And there was one particularly that Bowden ran. I think he was the first one to do one of those.
Go, Bodie!
Just to up the guts sometimes.
He was big, wasn't he, coming back?
Yeah. And sometimes, and there's a thing I'm going to get you to show me on a bit of paper later on as well. But the Wallabies were doing like that NRL move I've seen this year, where it's like an X play where the two come in that way, and I saw them do that one. I was like, oh, that's a great move. But then of course, and you know, when you've got a guy breaking tackles like Caleb Clark was,
what a beast! What an absolute beast, and
He's
what
got
a great
spiders on
way!
him.
What a great way to kick off launch your rugby career as an All Black.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd played the week before, but man.
But the only way they could tackle him, I don't know if you've seen James Hooper had to grab his twig. Just went for him. Had to go for it. That's the only way you can get him down.
Yeah, and he grabbed my nuts, and it really hurt.
I was trying to push him off.
It's funny because I heard a lot of chat about their midfield combination because there was a bit of heat, I guess you could say, towards Rieko Ioane when after the first test, obviously not scoring the try that he probably should have scored, and just some of the combinations and what have you. So I actually caught up with Ronnie Clark earlier in the week, or as we like to call it, Caleb's dad, and talked about Rieko Ioane in the midfield and whether he likes that or not, whether it changed anything, is it different, and whether he'd like to see him back in the midfield.
I think the first thing that it's great to see Rieko play at 13. I'm a great fan of his at 13. He's been a midfielder most of his life. You know, I think it's only the All Black career that's kind of changed him to the wing. So what I saw in the first test of Rieko was, and I know Fozzie and Brad would have been able to talk to him about it as well, that he needs time in the saddle. He needs time to be able to continue to grow because I can see him being world class as well if he allow him to grow in that position, because centre is the most difficult position to play in the back line. And because there's a lot of challenges, particularly on defence, there's a whole lot more things you need to read. That ability to be able to recognise space, people in those spaces, and then to make those transfers under pressure sometimes are really important. So Enrico's he's really growing in leaps and bounds in terms of those skill sets. But I think he's got also that out and out pace to take on guys on the outside. And I think that's quite a key thing that is really important for a midfield back, or particularly a centre to have. What we saw on the weekend with the All Blacks winning, we saw a really good foundation by the forward pack that set them a really good platform for the backs to be able to launch. And the forwards were a lot more hungrier, I saw, on the weekend than they were last week. And, you know, Australia wanted to really play. They came to play. And so this time the All Blacks saying, we're not going to make that mistake again. And they really showed that too. So the backs were able to really launch some good attacks off that. That's what we saw.
See. Helps when your forwards are up for it.
I feel comforted hearing Ronnie's voice.
I do too. It's so nice. And we had a good chat about Caleb, it's on the Facebook now if you want to have a look, and just that proud moment of being a dad. But something that as fathers we can all learn from. Telling your kids that you love them all the time, making sure they always know that whatever they do, that they're loved by you, both your parents.
How did you go today at netball when you had to coach your daughter?
Oh,
tell her you loved her.
Flustered, man. I'm not a coach.
Did you tell her you loved her? Or you yell at her?
Just go.
Man, I should have taken those words of wisdom from a Ronnie, man. I'm just a terrible coach. Like I'm not. I want to win. I want to win. And that's
How old are these children?
8 years old.
Okay, cool.
And I want them to play well, and that's my problem. I know that I should not be a coach.
You need to take my wisdom and just lower that expectation.
Just lower it, mate.
We were down 4-1 after the first half, Nate.
Right.
We pulled it back to 5-5, and they scored in the last seconds. We lost.
I'm pretty
0-1.
sure. I'm pretty sure one of the girls' netball games that we got to at the end, I think it was 1-0 at the end of it. That was stunning for all the parents involved in it, for both teams.
It was a lovely sunny night though, so it didn't matter if the goals were going in or not. Craig Rogers brings up an awesome point. TV3's new Match Fit show this week. Thoughts? Loved it.
Because of the depth bits, eh?
Yes.
Because I think anyone can do the whole, look at these fat bastards running, but the bits where like the pieces from Ron Cribb and Case Muse and that kind of stuff, just talking about how life had taken them and taken turns and stuff, it's like, that was the depth. That was beautiful.
It's going to be awesome to see the end result.
Yeah.
As it just keeps going and going. Yeah. It's going to be unreal. I liked Piri Wipu's, I got both my ankles done, I got this and that. And he's looking big compared to, when he was playing.
Yeah.
And to see what he's going to turn out to be, and who are they playing? In the
All I heard Buck say was a younger, fitter side. Wow. So I don't know who that's against, because they kind of did one a little bit like this with JK, where it was dealing with perhaps guys that had gone off the rails and stuff, and that. So it was getting them into a game and doing that, and then later on they'd go and practice against, they'd play a game against a team, and that was the idea. Was at the end of it, and there were guys that were falling into old habits and not showing up and things like
38
that.
years old. I am 38 years old, and I do not like to be told that I could have mental issues, that I could be. I don't like to be told it, but I pick it up better when it's laced secretly in things that I'm really into and enjoying. And that's what happened with that show on TV3. What is it? Match Fit.
Yeah.
That happened. I said to they just go through the natural of men who let themselves go. Guilty. Because, you've got so much life going on. You're looking after kids. You do all this other stuff. And that's what the All Blacks, these ex-All Blacks had done, or former All Blacks had done. And they let themselves go to a certain degree. And this was a chance for them to get mentally right, to feel good about themselves, to have something to work for again. And it was really good. Thank you for bringing
School
that
of
up,
Hard
James.
Knocks, Aidan McLaughlin,
Craig.
thank you.
Yes. James Taitamu, I enjoyed it too. The moment with Ronnie Clark seeing Caleb getting picked, that was good, man. He had tears in his eyes. Speaking of, one of the other headlines this week was TJ Perenara picking up a contract over in Japan. I asked Ronnie about that because Ronnie played time in Japan. He also coached in Japan. What's it going to be like for TJ when he heads over to Japan?
TJ Perenara announces he's headed off to Japan. You spent some time in Japan. We've talked about Japan. What the biggest cultural sort of conflict or things that will bounce into TJ's face when he turns up?
Yeah, I think probably the first things that he'll find are the things that are very similar in cultures. For Maori and Pasifika, is that they're a very collectivist type of society as well. They're strong in values, strong in family values, like whānau, family, the values of honor and respect. So those are very much the very similar values for us as Māori and Pasifika. So those will be probably the first thing that he'll resonate with, and when he's conversing with people. And I suppose the only differences would be the language barrier, that there's nothing in English, too much in English around the place as well. But he's going to love the food. He's going to love learning the new culture. He'll pick up the language really, really quickly too as well. He'll discover that the vowels are the same as Māori and Pasifika. So pronouncing the words, saying the words will come easy to him because he's already very strong in his te reo. So speaking in Japanese, they have the same vowels. He'll click onto it really, really quickly. So I suppose those are some of the things. Then, of course, just really then connecting with the players. I mean, and he's a very sociable and type of guy as well. So he'll connect very quickly with the rugby guys. He'll already have the mana and respect coming in as an All Black, even a current All Black. So I think that's going to be really strong standing for him when he heads over to Japan.
And he's still with the Hurricanes, just the red ones.
That's right. Don't forget which Hurricanes.
I love both your eyes light up when he mentioned food.
Oh, Japanese food.
It was
Japanese food. Mark and I were in Japan this time last year, and the food. The food's amazing. They've even got these your local dairy, like 7-Eleven, and they had these things like these chicken fillets, which are in little paper bags, and they're just the best you've ever had. Elliot Smith, who was our commentator, was like, "You got to have those. You got to have those." You're like, "Oh my god!" Everything was good. Chewing gum off the ground, beautiful.
And the Japanese. The Japanese are incredibly efficient, so the food is so quick and it's so well made and it tastes so good because it's a competitive market. If your food's shit, you just go 2 meters to the left and you'll get way better food.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's
so
really,
you've got to be
really
good. There was this one. They have like these spicy chicken wings, and it's that super spicy, super chili stuff that burns your lips. So what they do is they have a cheese fondue that you dip it in, and that's how you eat it, so it doesn't burn your lips. We might have had that a few times.
Yeah, it was like a drum of fried chicken, and then just inside that drum was a big fondue cheese, and you just dip.
And the dude
the
brings you a
chicken.
plastic glove so you don't get any of the juice on your hands.
Oh, yeah.
So hungry.
So good. TJ will go right over there, man.
Oh yeah, he'll blast it.
He'll kill it. All right, paired line number 2. This one's probably for you, Nate, and it is Mookie Bell. Mookie Bell. What am I talking about when the paired line is Mookie Bell?
So this is so good. So the World Series is on. It's tied 1-1 at the moment. Tampa came back at us today, but they have this promotion all around America where if someone steals a base during the World Series, America gets a free taco.
Is it just the Dodgers
From
or
Taco
is it both
Bell.
teams?
No. If someone and this is just through that's their one they run every year. If someone steals a base, you get it. And Mookie Betts is an incredible player, and he's a base stealing dude. So he basically got everyone in America a free taco yesterday. Free Taco Bell.
So by maths, I was looking. That's around 328 million free tacos. If every one of them, every American goes in and cashes it in. And I think they're around about $1.27 US is the cheapest taco you
So
can
that's
get.
a lot of dollars that are given away here, possibly.
I'm no mathematician, but that's well over $350 million worth of tacos.
As a player, are you stitching them up? Are you like, hey, go on, I won't get you?
Well, he tweeted.
I didn't get him.
He did tweet though. He tweeted after he did it. Did you mention that?
No.
So he tweeted and he was like, "I guess I just shouted everyone Taco Bell."
The people's champ.
He is,
People's
man.
champion. And although the real bonus is that Taco Bell, you're never full after one taco. You're always going to
you
have to
gotta
buy a
get
couple
more.
of extras. So they'll make that money back, no doubt. I was also thinking to myself, how on earth do we do that here in New Zealand? What's the New Zealand equivalent? Is it the Mitre 10 Cup final? I don't know. What's something that seldomly happens? No collapsed scrums. We get to get free, I don't know, cheeseburgers or something like that.
I got it. So, end of the first test, New Zealanders were mad because the All Blacks didn't do what?
Oh, drop goal.
Drop goal. What about if someone does a drop goal, then you end it, that's when you get it. Because when in New Zealand, the problem is no one wants to do a drop kick, because when you do a drop goal, the crowd goes, oh, boo! It's like seen as cowardly way to score points. But if it's like, yeah, like that, there's going to be props doing it. Like, Tui Nukuafi's going to pick the ball up in a scrum,
Take
and,
a try.
and try and do it and just...
Droppy so you can be
Take
a
the love.
hero. I love it.
You like that?
I love it.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's keep the food theme
Marketing.
going on.
I'll do my shuttles.
Do your shuttles because this is a very special treat that both Nate and I got to do earlier today. Joey Chestnut, #1 ranked competitive eater in the world by Major League Eating. That's what it is. Major League Eating are a part of it. Nate's running his appreciation shuttles. How many has he got to do?
He has up to 15.
6'1", 103 kgs. That's what Joey Chestnut weighs. He won his 13th Nathan's hot dog eating competition. That was 75 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. 75 in 10 minutes. That's both the hot dogs and the buns. The dude is an absolute ox. But what is Joey Chestnut? What does Joey Chestnut think about our cuisine here in New Zealand? Let me just thank you, Gavin Slater. Add that to the list. Here he is, the man we talked to earlier this afternoon.
The Marc Peard Podcast.
The world's champion, ladies and gentlemen, Joey Chestnut!
We're proud of our foods, Joe. Like, we've got good lamb. We love our fish and chips here in this country, in New Zealand. Have you ever looked over at anything on our menu and gone, man, I could smash a load of that?
Oh, yeah. I think you guys have meat pies too, don't you?
Oh, we love a good meat pie, mate.
Yeah, my girlfriend's mom's supposed to be making me some. So I would love some meat pies. That'd be an awesome record to have. Lamb would be great. What else do you guys have down there?
Oh, mate, Mrs. Max.
Hang on, I'm just thinking, how do we not get involved with Tourism New Zealand and make this happen?
Well, the thing is Mrs. Max is now the main pie provider here at Eden Park.
Yeah.
We could do this. We could sell out
Oh
Eden
my God.
Park, have Joey there. Mrs. Max
At
pies are good too.
halftime in an All Blacks game, which is our national rugby team, they win about 90% of their games for the last 100 years. Like, they have about a 10-minute halftime. You could come out and see how many you could eat in like 8 minutes or something like that. I mean, that'd be...
We create a massive record. Oh, that'd be, you count me in.
So you've got a win record much like our All Blacks, our national rugby team, which is, but there's a real comparison there. But they get injured. I'm interested in eating injuries. Is there injuries that you can gather when you're at competitions, or are there people who have gone down because, oh no, he's pulled a larynx or something?
Yeah.
Oh, the worst injuries. Usually it's not, they really don't affect me during the contest. It's afterwards, I'll realize I bit my tongue and it's like bleeding for like 12 hours straight.
Oh.
I mean, when I'm chewing really fast, it's
I know, right? Yeah.
I've had some gnarly bites on my tongue.
What do you savor? What's the one that you go like, oh, can't eat this quick? This just tastes so good.
Oh, I think crab. I think crab is one of my favorite foods. Shrimp and crab and shrimp. I love seafood. Pretty much all around. Good oysters. But it's like anything. When competition comes, even if it's a food I really like, I go to town on.
I'm interested in the departure of the food, just in a really clean way. So you're reckoning about a day and a half before the exit valve is complete, that the purge is all gone?
It's not pretty, but yeah, it's usually things start working its way out about 4 hours later. There's the big trick of it. There's no real trick, but I go into every contest absolutely empty, a cleanse, and I make sure I prep my body. I'm 100% empty, so it's easy to digest the food. I drink a couple of little things, make sure that to even help further with digestion and keep things going. But that food's going through me about 4 hours later. I'm taking a nap, drinking water, then I wake up and I have a look in my eye. I'm running to the bathroom.
Now, 12 hours of blood. That might send you to the hospital. I don't know.
Well,
Biting your tongue.
Like, he's lucky he just doesn't eat his tongue. Like, maybe he just gets carried away in the middle. Oh, my tongue.
How look how skinny he is. Like,
Yeah.
and he says, he goes down the back,
Well,
the back door. But
apparently the guys that have got fat deposits in them, it just means your stomach can't stretch out. So it actually works against you. So the big fatties don't do so well in it. Like Kobayashi, who was the champion before him, was like really super skinny. He had abs. Like, he looks like one of those Japanese boy band guys. Yeah.
I got a question though for you two. Meat pies. I don't know, because you don't want it too hot. You're trying to get it down there quickly, but then if you have it cold, it's a shit meat. It's a bad meat pie. Like, you don't want it cold. Like, what temperature are we getting it at? Like mild. Can we go? Is there something else in New Zealand?
Yeah, true. You don't want it like.
No, but you can get them. You can get them at the right temperature where they're not.
He would know.
bursting.
Like, he's the competitive guy. He would know. I just want to see him at halftime in an All Blacks game eating 50 pies. That'd be. People would go home doing that. Like, oh, how good was bloody Tupu Vai? Oh, how good was that dude at halftime and all those pies? Come on, Dad, let's do that. Like, well, boom, that'd be pretty good.
I'm just looking at the messages coming through. We've got a few. What do we call these? I guess they're not trolls. What are there's a whole lot of marketing coming through where people, it's all just popping up. It's very weird. Don't go ahead and try and claim the $5,000 that's going on. It's getting spammed. There we go.
What's $5,000?
I don't know, but
did someone just click on $5,000 and now they're going to end up with a virus in their computer?
It's just keep on throwing through. So just ignore it. Congratulations. You're at a certain size when all of a sudden people start spamming.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got our first spam, guys. We made it. All right. That was cool to have Joey Chestnut on.
Yeah.
Headline number 3.
Okay.
Because we've got a big event coming up very shortly. We've got to take on another person in our Goldberg streak.
Oh, yes.
10-leg multi Goldberg streak. We destroyed my daughter,
You did
8-year-old
in week
daughter,
one?
in week 1. We
about against Ja Rule?
obliterated our window washer in week 2.
Sure did.
And we're going to take on a world champ that you may have just seen. We're going to take him on in round 3 to try and keep that 95 Goldberg streak alive.
Love it.
Junior Eli, thank you so much. Junior Eli, sorry. Thank you so much for joining the whānau. We'll run another appreciation shuttle for you. Right, paired line number 3. It's holding us up. Darcy Webb, we love you.
Going, Dust.
Paired line number 3. Smithy's Last Dance. What am I talking about? Smithy's Last Dance. What possibly could that paired line be about?
Oh, right. I thought you meant.
It's got to be.
Cricket Smithy. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
nah.
What happened?
The greatest to ever do it. Could
You
be
reckon?
possibly having his last dance this weekend.
NRL Grand Final, 9:30 p.m. this Sunday. Penrith Panthers taking on the Melbourne Storm. Cameron Smith's best chance to go out a winner, do we reckon? Do we reckon you go out on top like this, or do we think he's coming back?
I think he's coming back
Do you?
to the Gold
be a
Coast
coach?
Titans.
Really?
I'm just going to throw out. Yeah, I'm just going to throw.
You
throw
know
it out.
something.
Are
You
you
know
reporting?
something.
Nah, I don't. I'm just throwing predictions
Wait,
out.
are you
too random.
are we reporting that here? Is that being
Oh,
reported here
if
first?
it happens, how good would that be?
What
Just
when-
keep this date. Gold Coast Titans, Cameron Smith.
We actually need a Marc Peard Podcast Understands studio where you go over and put it out, stand over there and go, like you're those news hub guys. You're saying, we understand that da-da-da-da-da. This is going, you should say that. There are rumours, there are words. That
There are words.
He's in discussion with the Titans.
The Titans, they're the first and the most wanted. Yeah, today, mate, Mercy Queen hasn't replied to me either, so it's not looking like the $5,000 is coming my way. But we got spam, which is cool. Yes, Smithy, last dance. How good a player is he? Why take our word from it? Let's hear from the legend himself, Gus Gould. Caught up with him to talk about the man, Cameron Smith, and how good a player he is. Cameron Smith, where does he sit in the top 10 players you've ever seen play the game?
Well, above the other 9. He's probably the... I can't believe his record. Every time he takes the field, he sets a new record because he's breaking his own records. The mark is that the immortals of this game, the really great players that we work with at Channel 9, I mean, you're talking about your Wally Lewises and Peter Sterlings and Darren Lockyers and Brad Fittlers and Andrew Johns. When they tell me he's the best player they've ever seen, when Jonathan Thurston tells me he's the best player they've ever seen, then you've got to listen. And here he is still at 37 years of age, captaining a team into a grand final and producing great form. So he's right up there with the best of any era at any time.
If I give you a name, can you tell me the first thing that comes to mind, Gus, from that player, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck?
Well, I saw Roger come through the Roosters program, and there was a time there where I thought we were entering into the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck era. I think he's done a great job with the Warriors, and I still think he's the man to build the future of this club around, and I hope he sticks around for a long time.
Love it. Jazz Tabanga.
Talented, very talented. He's got a point of difference about him, that boy. He's powerful and he's got some skill, and I think his best is very much in front of him.
Blake Ashford.
I knew Blake as a kid. I saw him playing for Endeavour Sports High over here in a schoolboy competition that they won, and I've followed his career with great interest. He's a talented player. He's got experience now. He's probably never got to the level I really thought he would, but it's never too late to have a whirlwind finish.
And finally, obviously being around the Warriors, there's a lot of, what would you call them, like one-liners that the whānau or family use as Warriors fans. I'm wanting to say them to you and have you repeat after me. So the first big saying that gets out there, and we all tweet it and we love it, it's something that's become synonymous with the Warriors fan bases. We all say, this is our year.
This is our year.
I like that. Okay, the next one is, let's gone Warriors.
Let's gone Warriors. I've seen the sign. Love it.
Yep. One more saying that they love to throw around is, mean my Māori.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Mean my Maori.
I love it. Gus, thank you so much for your time, my man. I truly appreciate it. All the very best. Enjoy Sunday's big match, and we'll talk again soon.
Look forward to it.
Mean my Māori.
Still thinks you're playing.
He still thinks you're playing.
Well, that's what you got out of it. What I got out of it is
He remembers you from high school?
he remembers me and he thinks that I should have been an immortal.
Yeah.
Ah!
He does.
Well, that's
what
what
he
he
said.
said. He said I could have
could have
gone to
been.
that potential and that I can come back
Yeah.
and still finish on a high.
Yeah.
Maybe an immortal if I come back. So that's
Go
what I
on.
got out of it. But yeah, each to your own.
I was thinking about Cam Smith, and I was having a look at him, right? And it's like, if you know when you're casting a movie, that alpha athlete, the best that ever was one, always looks like a like one of the Hemsworth brothers, just completely like muscled up and all that, which Cam Smith isn't. right?
No.
But then I had a look at it and I thought, well, even Richie McCaw, when he took his shirt off, he also wasn't cut like that, but he had that. Roger Federer, another one of those who didn't have that as well. And it's quite interesting, why is he so, what is it about him? Is he that guy is he quicker than he looks? Is he just really hard to defend because his judgment's so like what makes him difficult to play against?
I think a lot of it's mental, but one of the other things is that he keeps everyone at his pace. So I don't know, you see people that in rugby union or rugby league, they play at their own pace and they bring the game back to them. Yeah. So it's like everyone's playing at his pace. So he's not overplaying his hand, he's not fast, he's just calm and collected, and that's up there as well. And he, like, a lot of the people say, the referee and that, but he talks to him correctly. Yeah. There's a lot of people yell and swear and stuff, and he's like, mate, all right, good job. Yeah, he's smart.
Thank you for saying that at your pace. I've tried to describe for years what it was like sitting in a stadium watching Wayne Gretzky play and how everyone freaked out and they weren't sure whether to go to him or away or whatever. Actually, there's another guy who also wasn't cut, but it was the greatest of all time. But I think it's that same thing. Like, everyone was just doing it at his speed, and if you went to try and get him, he passed it around them. And if they didn't come and get him, he just blasted it by them. And it was like that whole, I guess there's a bit in your brain where you're like, well, what do I do? I'm just hoping to be subbed off while he's on the field so I can go, come on.
Mate, to me, I don't know about you, there's no argument.
Nah, he's the best.
Mate, you can't play we'd probably end up with 500 games if he goes to the Titans.
Yeah, I tell you what, Javon, thank you so much. Appreciate it, brother. And Jeff, 2 more appreciation shuttles to add to the list. Nato, you are going to be a sweaty mess.
Kia ora, Jeff McTainch.
We need you,
Come
though.
on the bay. Yep.
Yes, Jeff. Yes, that's gonna feature in what's gonna come up next, isn't it? Warriors head office gave Gus the roster list from
the previous season. do you think he actually knew who Jazz was? Oh, talented. I don't know which one's Jazz.
Aiden also brings up thoughts on the Dally M gents. What do we think? Raiders.
He was fantastic.
Was he the best though?
Yes, he was. So all the experts thought so. Because if you say he wasn't, then Roger wasn't. So got you. No?
Yeah, true. I'll take.
I believe in Tohu though. Let's go Hastings boys.
Yeah, Tohu Harris. All right, it's time to do it, gentlemen. Like I said, we destroyed an 8-year-old. We slammed our window cleaner. Yeah. It's time to take on a world champ. Let's hear this week, and you're all a part of this. You're all in on this. If you're watching right now, you're helping us with these picks. We've got 10 picks to make. Let's see what Joey Chestnut, eating world champion, had to pick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Right. So, of course, Friday night, Mitre 10 Cup, Otago versus Northland. Who do you got, Joey?
Northland.
Right, yeah, the Cody tree.
They're on fire too. Saturday, Bay of Plenty taking on Canterbury. Bay of Plenty or Canterbury there, Joe?
Oh, let's do Bay of Plenty.
Okay, Bay of Plenty.
Like that? Yeah. Upset. Hawke's Bay taking on Manawatu. Hawke's Bay or Manawatu?
Manawatu?
I like
it. Let's go for that one. Yeah.
Perfect.
Of course, Saturday's big game is the Battle of the Bridge between North Harbour and Auckland. Who are you taking, North Harbour or Auckland?
Do Auckland.
Yeah, they've been on fire.
Joey
knows his stuff, man. World champ. Okay, how about Tasman taking on Southland? Tasman versus Southland on Sunday.
Oh, boy. Let's do Southland.
Ooh, Counties, Wellington. Who you got, Counties or Wellington?
Counties.
Waikato or Taranaki?
Waikato or Taranaki?
Taranaki.
Yeah, you go. Pronunciation on this guy.
Right, and let's have a quick look at the UFC. We have Khabib taking on Gaethje. Who you got in the UFC?
Khabib. Yeah.
There we go. And finally, we've got 2 more to go. Okay. You'll probably know them. This is the NRL Grand Final on Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. We've got the Melbourne Storm taking on the Penrith Panthers. Who do you like?
Well, let's go with the Panthers.
Well, they've led all season. It's a good call. And finally, for our 10-legger, we have Sunday night football, NFL, Bears taking on the Rams. You may be familiar with both those teams. Bears or Rams?
Let's do Rams. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Donald, man. Aaron Donald's on fire this year.
I don't want to be in.
Oh, the Bears started off with a good season. We'll see. Let's do Rams.
They must be the worst 5-1 team that there has been in the NFL. They can't even decide on a quarterback. How are they 5-1? Yeah. All good, Joe. Thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate it.
Great talking to you guys. I'll be coming down, hopefully.
He loves an outsider, doesn't he?
He loves an outsider. Without further ado, it's time to get into ours.
All right.
The greatest champion in WCW history.
All right.
Look at him.
It's Goldberg, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at him.
Wow. That's Goldberg's music. Ah!
Joey, you're next.
All right.
So much meat. So much meat on display.
You're next, Joey.
Joey, you're
Temperature
next.
just went up in here, I tell you. Hot in here.
What a beast. All right, let's start. Mitre 10 Cup. We're all on it. Community. I'm off the page now, so you're going to have to tell us what everyone's saying. Now, Otago...
WTF is what Ture Mackey's saying. Thank you, Ture.
That's commitment right
For
there.
those of you who are only listening to this, Goldberg's actually just appeared in studio. It's incredible.
Yes.
He's right here in his athletic equipment. This is great.
We forget about the podcast side of this. Yes, he's got no top on. He's wearing a pair of Warriors underwear.
Yeah.
He's got his bald head, as we all know. He's making the noises. Now we will go through and do our 10-leg multi, starting in the Mitre 10 Cup.
Yes.
What are we thinking for Otago versus Northland? Now, just quickly, Will Miller, good old Will Miller, you would be doing this tonight, and messaged me to say that Ioane's been suspended.
He got stood down for booze.
Stood down for booze.
Yes.
Does this change
Josh
what we're
Ioane
thinking?
from Otago.
Oh, was that in the All Blacks camp?
No, from the
wasn't.
Otago team.
Oh, yeah, but I thought he was in the All Blacks camp.
They called him in just in case for Bowden, but then he was dropped back out again. So I don't know, man. I think Northland's all right, actually. They look quite good. They're well organised.
They're paying $3 now. What are we doing? $1.35 on Otago or Northland at $3?
I think Otago, eh?
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll go Otago.
Otago. We're locking in Otago. There we go.
Yes.
Game number 2, Saturday, 2:05 p.m. Remember, there's two. No. I thought there was 2 games playing at that time. And there's not. But no, that's on Sunday. Bay of Plenty versus Canterbury.
It's got to be Canterbury, doesn't it?
The BOP is 285. Canterbury's 138.
have to.
Canterbury, lock it in.
They lost.
Okay. Hawke's Bay, Manawa 2. This is, of course,
for the Shield.
It's the
Come
Shield.
on,
Come on, the Bay.
Come on, the Bay.
Come on, the Bay.
$1.09, locking it in.
Okay, cool.
North Harbour versus Auckland. Battle of the Bridge.
Auckland were good in the weekend.
Yeah.
They were impressive.
They were, man.
I reckon the air's gone out of the balloon for Auckland
Why?
because they were all amped up here at Eden Park knowing that there was going to be an All Black test the next day. North Harbour have been sitting over there jealously over the other side of the bridge, the bent bridge that needed time to repair. I reckon North Harbour get up in this game. I've got a feeling, but I'm happy to go with the group, the whānau. What are we thinking?
Hang on, wait. So Jeff McTain's just gone in. He says Harbour. Robbie Reyes Daly says Harbour. I guess we've got to go with the voice of the people, don't we?
Voice
We are
of
the
the
People's
people.
Podcast. Okay,
What are you doing?
It's fucking cold.
Harbour locked in at
Okay, we're going
285.
Harbour.
I like
Right.
that. Counties taking on Wellington.
It's got to be Wellington.
Man,
surely.
did you see?
Wellington's got too many hookers.
But
They've
did you
got
see
all the best.
who they're missing now? Who's going to be travelling with the team with the All
actually,
Blacks?
yeah, you're right. Duplessis Karifi's in now.
Yep.
Peter
Umaga
Umaga
Jensen.
Jensen.
Man,
They're still
that's
quite deep though, because you still got Vince Hussle and those sort of guys there.
True. And are they playing all those? Are they playing all the hookers all at the same
They
time?
are. If they just get all of them, if they get O'Reilly and Thompson and just everyone out on the field at once, we've got to go Wellington.
Wellington,
We have to,
$1.20.
can we also just try and win one as well? Like,
Yeah, we can try more, mate.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Actually do it successfully. Tasman, Southland. Javan, I know you're a Southland man. I know you work in the freezing works down in Invercargill, brother, but I can't see it. Tasman got roughed up last week against Auckland.
They'll
They're
be
paying
embarrassed.
$1.03. Southland's paying 10 huck. Are we really going to be playing 10 huck on Southland?
Oh, I do like Southland, but
I like Southland too, but
I think Tasman.
locking in Tasman.
You're going Tasman,
Sorry,
yeah.
Javan. Waikato versus Taranaki. Waikato. What are we doing? Taranaki, man, Waikato looked good last week.
Yeah,
is Messon back full time?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I like Waikato for that because I think that Taranaki's best players were guys like Vai and that, and they're out now because they were so good. They went cool. We have for the All Blacks. That kind of hurts.
They have dropped a lot, Taranaki, with losing those All Blacks.
And the Shield, yeah, went out.
All right, let's go into the mixed martial arts segment, and of course, UFC. Nate, tell us about UFC 253 and that matchup. Khabib taking on Justin Gaethje.
Khabib has traditionally been overwhelming as far as being able to just trap someone into his game and just he's a constant thumper, isn't he? He's not a one punch knockout dude. He's a constant thumper. I really like Gaethje.
So do I.
Gaethje's wrestled his entire life. Like, he was a wrestler in the first place, and he's just mean. And he said a really interesting thing too, which I thought was good, but he goes, no, man, he goes, Khabib fights others because he doesn't like being punched in the face. You know? So I'll punch you in the face is what he does. I really like, I think if there's going to be one of those, the big upset of the, whoa, you know, like you get in these, like you get when Ronda got beat or, you know, like all the other big upsets, I think Gaethje can pull it off.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well.
Everyone's gone quiet on the comments here. They've stuck with the rugby and that's it. Are we Gaethjeing this? Are we Gaethjeing
I also think
this?
that the loss of his father mentally could, you know, derail him.
Because he's
maybe.
always been there with him,
he's
hasn't
always
he?
been there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I think, I don't know, I just think that Gaethje's, because like even Conor won a round off Khabib for sure. However, he hasn't got the wrestling that Gaethje's got.
Yep.
So I'm going to go Gaethje. Let's go Gaethje. That's
Lock
going to
it
be
in.
our upset. We'll go Gaethje. Even though the entire world will go Khabib, and maybe at the end we'll go, what an idiot, Khabib. But
$3.40.
Yep.
yeah.
Damn. All right, and we had a certain NRL match, so let me find the Rugby League, and let's go NRL, and let's click on it. Penrith Panthers, Melbourne Storm. What do we think, Fano?
How is it not the Panthers?
Well, this is a world champion.
Haven't they
we're
been the
taking on
best
here.
team all year?
Here's a couple of thoughts I had. One was obviously this is the big one. This is the big dance. Who's been there before? Who knows what the emotions are going to be like? Who knows that the energy and the dictation of the pace will come out of Melbourne? But
Who's not haunted by loss?
with it, there we go. Penrith Panthers, however, they've got that youthful enthusiasm and the build-up, as Blake said earlier on in the week in our podcast. We did the League and Order podcast, that it's going to be very different, the build-up to this final. There's not a big dinner and lunch and all that jazz. It's going to be just like pretty much a normal game with a big atmosphere, just knowing that there's that pressure. So the Penrith Panthers, young guns, the young stars who may not have that experience before, actually could be just normal, not affected.
30,000 people, I think, is only expected instead of the 100,000 or whatever they usually get there. So I don't like it's hard to pick. I just like the way Melbourne's had that week off and just come back playing. I think Penrith I'm not lucky. They played well, but I thought South got closer and gave them a scare where Melbourne were.
Yeah, Melbourne blew us away at the start of that game last week.
All right, what do we got
So
here?
what are we going
Baxter saying Cleary is a losing record in finals. Will Miller says Panthers. Javan says Panthers. Jeff says Nathan Cleary wins. Today says Panthers by 6. I like
There's
this.
a couple of things, NATO, as well. Every time the Panthers have won the minor premiership, they've won the title.
Oh.
And also another one I've seen. Whenever the Storm wear their away jerseys, they've won it twice in grand finals.
Yeah.
Lost both.
Is it wrong?
What are we doing?
Plus, the Panthers have got Royce Simmons. That I haven't seen them this year. They've still got Royce Simmons, I think, and Gaia. So they'll be incredible.
We're looking in the Panthers.
I think we are.
Oh,
I think we're going audience. We're going Panthers. All right,
Panthers, it is. Right, locked in. One more, and it's the NFL. Let me just find what that's called, American football.
Yes, the Rams.
Right. And we're going
And
to
the-
Sunday night football, isn't it?
Shit of the Cowboys now.
Oh, terrible. Poor them.
God, yeah.
So we've got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago's are pretenders at 5-1. I would take the
reckon?
Rams all day long in this. Man, Nick Foles, they got Nick Foles as their quarterback. Mitch Trubisky's not even playing for them anymore. If I had any say in this, I would say do not sleep on the Los Angeles Rams defense. Aaron Donald's been playing really well.
True.
They're starting to find form in the running game as well. Henderson played well last week. I think it's just common sense in this game should say that the Rams should do this in a canter, and the price says $1.35 and the Chicago Bears at $3.
The Bears defense hasn't been shabby either.
It hasn't been shabby.
great.
It hasn't been
great.
shabby.
Robbie Reyes Daly's asked, can you put an extra one in there? He likes the look of Kyler, so he's going, can you stick the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks? The Cardinals is sort of our team.
They are our team.
We've
but to
been on
beat
their
the
field.
Seahawks?
You've actually caught a ball on their field.
I've caught a touchdown
on their actual grass.
On their grass.
Also, if the Seahawks get Antonio Brown.
Oh, true.
game
And you're
over.
going up against Russell Wilson.
That fish is dead, mate. That fish is well dead. It's not coming back.
All right, so
and
what
if
does
it
that
does,
come out to?
it
Because
comes-
Joey's was $43,000 for $1 on.
How did that work?
But he's the greatest.
$1 makes us $89.65.
We've got a $1.03 shot in there. Like it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll take that. Well done, Fano. I'm liking our chances with that.
We'll make the build go.
We'll
From
make
89. I don't know how it made sense in my head before it came out.
Will Miller. Will Miller. Oh, yeah, you've got your appreciation shuttles. Hey, thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. As I say, it's cool to have you along. We will make this into a podcast, share it with all our friends over in the UK and Oz, people who miss the Kiwiana, and you guys are a big part of that. We appreciate it. Yeah, that's us for another week. Nate's going to do his last of the shuttle runs. Aisha's going, oh, wow, that's a lot of meat.
Will that be taken down?
We may get complaints about that. Keep going, Nate. We're almost out, mate. Stream's almost finished. Keep running. How long do you reckon we'll keep this going for?
Almost there.
Almost there, buddy.
Nice,
all right. Ka kite ana. We'll see you all next week.